I'm on a call and I'm about to announce my fee, which I've now doubled. And in that moment of speaking my fee, I get this wobble, I get uncomfortable and I don't do it. Or I do it in a way that's really undermining my power. So the question that my client asks, how can I communicate in such a way that I attract the people that can afford my fee? So therefore, when I speak to them, it makes sense for them. And then I don't have to feel this wobble anymore. The idea that I should be able to speak my fee without wobble as a means of growing my fee and growing my income. No. It's not how it works. If you're doing it that way, your growth is very incremental at best. In fact, living in the wobble, living at that edge is actually something that I love because I understand that the wobble, feeling that uncomfortableness is a sign of my growth. And yes, of course, to be able to speak with certainty and groundedness and not wobbling all the time is part of what creates another person's certainty and has them want to work with you and say yes and pay you, right? Because they trust in your groundedness and your steadiness. But you don't stay steady all the time. You actually create a steadiness at a new level by being willing to hang out and wobble for a minute. So the first thing you want to do is to stop trying to eradicate the wobble as a way of up-leveling yourself financially. Think of the wobble as the space that you hang out in, the transition space from the level you're at now to the new level. You're not going to be there forever. You're going to steady at that new level. And then things will be easy and you'll be relaxed and you'll be steady again. In fact, if I'm steady for too long, I get uncomfortable with that. So it's time for me to up-level my game in some way. Let me lean into some edge that makes it more difficult, that makes me uncomfortable, that creates the wobble. So I don't see the wobble as a sign to stop. I don't look at the wobble as something I get rid of. It's just something I need to be with until it subsides because of the steadiness that gets created. That's the first thing. So if we're not trying to eradicate the wobble, the reason people aren't saying yes to my coaching offer at double the rate is because they can't afford it. And usually when I have a client that's saying this, it's not because they've experienced people saying no. It's actually because they're imagining that everybody will say no and nobody could afford it. They are always wrong, always. Statistically, if you double your fee, you might lose half the clients, but probably not even that many, and you're going to actually increase your income. Every single time I've taught so many people to double their rate. The way to create a new audience of people that can afford your higher fee is to not go and try to find people based on what your estimation of the resources are. Way more important here, especially for the person who's learning how to create through conversation, is to understand that the people that you're surrounded by are the perfect resonant response to your state of being. And when I say state of being, I don't just mean, are you in a good mood or are you in a bad mood? The state of being with the specific monetary value on your work. There's a vibration in who you're being as to the monetary value of your work. If you can have the experience in your body that a conversation with me for 30 minutes is worth $1,000 all day long, I don't care who you are, then the vibration of your attitude of the value of your time carries with it resonant frequency of the actual monetary amount. And so if you are in conversation with people, believing in the monetary value of your work and speaking from that place, the people that you are surrounded by will be that type of person, will be the person that has that level of resources or resourcefulness to come up with that type of investment. The first thing that happens is that the people who weren't paying attention to you because of the lower level of investment that you were being a stand for your work, basically in simple terms, being like, they're looking for a luxury good item and you're being budget. And so they just don't even pay attention to you. So therefore, when you start vibrating at this higher level, when you start being like the Whole Foods or the bespoke grocery store that has all the super organic foods, when you start being that, suddenly those people start paying attention and start being drawn to you and your work. You don't even have to be talking about your coaching fees or your consulting fees or your service fees or anything like that. Know what it is, be certain in it, that's your value. And a different type of person will be drawn to you because of the certainty and the frequency of the monetary value of your work. That's the first thing. So you will create this new target audience by simply changing your state of being around the value and being willing to be in the wobble as you speak. Now, the other way that you'll create a new target audience through simply shifting your attitude around your monetary value, the people that are in your existing audience will transform before your eyes. They will become more resourced. They will become more resourceful. They will become more capable of affording more. And why is that? Is it because they were lying to you before? No, not necessarily. Is it because they were lying to themselves about what they can afford? Sometimes maybe, but usually not even that. It's because your certainty in the monetary value of your work raises the bar on the possibility for both you and them. And you're energetically leading by example. When you say yes to something greater, what happens is people around you are able to say yes to something greater for themselves too, whether it's your fee or your dream dreams and goals or the possibility of your relationship, when you say yes to that, even in the wobble, but you stay with it and you stay committed, I'm going there no matter what, others join you in that vitality. When you expand, the universe expands and everybody is part of that universe. And so you'll find that a lot of the people around you who, when you take a stand for this and you are committed to this and you keep going with this, they will level up and suddenly they'll go from I can't afford it to I can. So you don't want to get rid of the wobble, number one. You want to get really committed to the monetary value of your work. You want to speak that in the wobble and have it be okay that you're wobbling. When you are wobbling and you're okay that you're wobbling, there's a groundedness and a certainty and a power that comes with your willingness to stay in your uncertainty and your wobble. Certainty with uncertainty is a powerful, grounded thing. So you can be present and okay with your wobble. Actually, that creates a groundedness that's in some ways even more powerful than a person who doesn't wobble at all. Because there's a vulnerability, there's an authenticity in it, and there's a courage. There's your answer. It's not out there in new marketing or new copy. It's just in the center of your heart and the willingness and your courage to speak. And the people will transform around you.